What's going on? This is David W. Williams, also known as Diamond Dave, the founder of the highest paid part-time job on the world options trading program. And really quickly, what we're going to talk about is a story that kind of came up on my news feed, and I want to kind of relate it to what is going on right now today. And what we're talking about is, would you accept taking this COVID vaccine for $1,500 USD? And the reason why we wanted to really get this story out is because one of the things that we try to endeavor to do at the highest paid part-time job in the world options trading program is to find the people that are not really satisfied with their 9 to 5 salary, right? And show them how they can make at least minimum 2K a month trading options in the options market. And the reason why we speak 2K a month as a baseline is because I really, really do believe that if you can at least get 2K a month, right? If you can at least get 2K a month, it'll really change your life. And then you can work from there. But if we kind of keep that as a baseline, once you know that you can generate that kind of money monthly, it can really, really change your life and really got you to understand the possibility and the empowerment that comes from being able to go into a particular place and make as much money as you desire, right? And you'll start to find is that making money will become essentially easy, and it'll be a big change because your whole life you've been taught that making money is hard and it's controlled by somebody else. And we're going to go into that in this particular article. So the article is from CNBC, right? It came out on the 3rd of December, and it talked about, would you be willing to get a COVID vaccine in exchange for a $1,500 stimulus check? And so there's a congressman named John Delaney, right, who says that he put up a proposal which stated that for us to get to this vaccination rate percentage that everybody says that we need to get to, which is 75%, what we need to do is create incentives, right? And what we need to do is incentivize people coming in and getting voluntary vaccination by telling them, well, we'll give you the $1,500 of the stimulus, right, in return for you agreeing to get vaccinated. And it's based on the belief that the faster, right, we get vaccinated, the faster everything can return to normal. So listen to me how they're framing this. What they're framing this is that we will incentivize you volunteering to get vaccinated by giving you $1,500 because the benefit of everybody getting vaccinated is everything is going to return back to normal. So they're using a lot of psychological triggers to get people to comply, right, to this particular initiative. And then they go a little bit further into it, right, is that the fact that people are going to start losing their unemployment benefits around the first of the year. The fact that a lot of people have not been able to get this new stimulus. So we got the original stimulus a little bit after March. And ever since that first stimulus of 1,200, they've been going back and forth in politics and using any reason as a reason not to deliver this stimulus. And what I want you to really understand, if you're a 9 to 5 worker, if you're a worker, is this. First off, politicians do these type of things, right? Where you get this guy, he's able to go out to the media and he's able to present this because they're really trying to test the water. And what I mean is that they're trying to test the water is that what they're really trying to do is determine if people take to this particular idea, we know we can move forward. If they don't take to it, then what we'll do is we'll pull it back. And then we can say, well, he's a former congressperson. He's really not aligned to the Democratic Party. And it was just his own personal opinion. So what they're really doing is testing the water and trying to figure out the viability of this particular idea. Does it actually have legs? And if it has legs, they will continue to build off of it. But the only reason why this idea is even valuable is because so many people are in struggling economic situations, right? A lot of people was in a bad economic situation before COVID. Now COVID comes around and it puts them in even a worse and a much more precarious economic situation. So the question I have for you, if you're a 9 to 5 worker, is that why do you think it is normal to be in a scenario where politicians can decide when they're going to give you $1,500 of your own money back to you, right? They're going to decide to take as long as they want to give you the $1,500. And then now they're going to use this $1,500 payout essentially as an incentive to get you to take a vaccine that they probably made in less than 6 months. And this seems perfectly normal to them, but the question is it normal to you? But we're going to get into a deeper story about the situation that a lot of people are in, which is the reason why they know they can do the type of things that they're doing. So let's go ahead and get into it. So we're looking at this article. We're talking about Walt Disney World layoffs has left 1,000 people left thousands in pain, right? And Walt Disney saying that they're going to lay off 28,000 employees who are going to start getting their separation notices in October 2020. So around October 20, Disney decided that, you know what, we're going to lay off an additional almost 30,000 people. And those layoffs are going to take effect at the end of the year. So what Disney has already done is projected that revenue is going to continue to be retracted or lower than what we've expected year to year. So what we're going to do is we're going to get ahead of it by laying people off. Now, I'm living in Orlando, Florida. To be very frank with you, this is a Disney town. It's a Disney city, right? Disney is the largest taxpayer, right? I want to say the largest taxpayer in Orange County. Nobody pays more taxes than Disney. They have a major footprint and influence over the city. There's thousands of people in this city that work for Disney. And so much of the economy is based around Disney people receiving that money and then going out in Orlando and spending that money all over the city. Okay. Now the money comes in from what? Tourists. So the tourists come in, they spend money at Disney. Therefore, they can justify their payroll for employees. Then those people get paid from Disney and they go out into the community and they spend money. And the people that work at Disney spend more money than the tourists because the people that work at Disney actually live in Orlando. So they're spending money in Orlando on a consistent basis. So Disney having to lay these people off is going to create a chain effect throughout this whole city. So not only are the people that work for Disney going to be affected, but other people who are dependent upon jobs from people that work at Disney are going to also be affected. And this is how economies work, because economies are based on synergy. They're based on They're based on things being integrated amongst each other that build off of each other. So anytime you have something like Disney that creates this major economic footprint, then what it does is it allows other businesses to come in and build off of that. So there's an area in South Orlando, not really South Orlando, that's close to South Orange County going into Osceola County called Kissimmee. And in this area of Kissimmee, what you have is you have a lot of people that work at Disney that live in this area because it's so close to Disney. So it means they don't have to travel that far. What you have is a lot of homes where younger people that are performers at Disney, they live 4 and 5 into a house. A lot of them are renters. And they're trying to figure out a way to live relatively inexpensively because they're working as performers. A lot of them still trying to figure their life out. These are the type of things that you do when you're early 20s. You don't have children, things of this nature. You have that freedom. What's going to happen is, as a result of them going to be laid off, right? That area in Kissimmee where that whole economy there is based on Disney money going from the employees and out into that community, these areas are now going to contract. And I seen this same thing happen in 9/11, because once 9/11 hit, I knew people that worked at Disney and they literally were let go that same day of 9/11. Literally. The same day of 9/11, I know people that worked at Disney as performers was let go because Disney already estimated the same day of 9/11 that our revenues are going to drop. So let's immediately start laying people off. So I want you to understand is that the reason why politicians can play games with this $1,500 is because they understand the economic condition of the people. And they understand that the people are in such bad economic shape that we can use this $1,500 as almost like a bait. And we can say, well, if you want the vaccine, you got to take the bait. I'm sorry, if you want the $1,500, you got to take the bait, which is the vaccine. And we can leverage this to get this world's widespread adoption, right, of this particular vaccine. And they don't really take into consideration the condition of the people, because there is no consequence for their actions from the people. So they don't care. So the question I want to ask you is that, why do you want to remain in this situation? One of the things that I really endeavored to do when I started this before COVID happened. So I started bringing people into my program before COVID. And some of the people that I brought into my program, and there was a woman in Chicago, by the time COVID hit, she was very, very positioned to take advantage of her situation. And as the market fell because of COVID, she and I were very, very successful in the markets because of COVID. Because one thing I do is I teach you how to make money when the market goes up or when the market goes down. It doesn't matter. Either way, we make money, right? There's some scenarios in which you play the market in which you only can generate a profit when the market goes up. I'm going to show you how to get money going both ways. So whether or not the system decides, right, people in the market decide to invest heavily in the market, where they decide to be very bullish about the market, to be very optimistic, still have the ability to make money, whether they decide to be very I don't know what that proper word is, cynical, right? Or not as optimistic about the market, and they decide they want to pull money out, I can still make money. But what you don't want to do is be in a scenario where your income is totally dependent upon what an employer decides that they're going to do. For years, people sat at Disney and their money was inside Disney. And so the only way they made money was to be able to show up at Disney and work. And if they couldn't show up at Disney and work, they can't make money. So what's going to happen if they're telling you in October that we're going to lay you off at the beginning of the year? You don't have the ability to make money. Now, the stimulus package, which is really your money, right? It's your money that they're going to give back to you. They're telling you the only way we're going to give you your money back is if you take this vaccine. And this has become normalized in our society, these type of relationships, these type of conditions. And I'm here to tell you, if you are tired of being treated like this, why don't you figure out a way to make money doing something outside of these particular institutions, right? And outside of these particular constructs. Because I don't care what these people do. I know how to make money in an area where if they hold off the stimulus till 2030, I'm going to still make money. If they give the stimulus next week and say, well, the only way you can get the stimulus is if you if you take the vaccine, I can choose just not to take the stimulus. Why? Because I don't need that $1,500, because I can do that in a week in the markets. And this is what I'm trying to get you to understand, is that by putting yourself in this position where the only way you can make money is if they say so, puts you in a very, very precarious position, because these people make decisions with no regard of the masses of American people, because they're not beholden to us. They're beholden to the people that put them in position. And for whatever reason, and I don't want to go into this big conspiracy thing, there's something very unusual why they're pushing this vaccine so hard. I don't know what it is. And I don't want to go down this conspiracy road. I don't understand why they're so bullish on getting everybody to take this vaccine. I don't get it. And I don't really think it's about this particular situation. What I think it is there's a situation after this that they're mentally conditioning us for. So we're getting mentally conditioned to believe that we got to take this medicine when they say it. And they're going to use COVID essentially as a test run for something coming after this. I don't even think it's about COVID. I think it's something after this that they're getting everybody set up for. But they're using this COVID situation as a test run, because I don't understand how all of a sudden you create the vaccine in this short amount of time. And then now you're creating all these incentives to get everybody to take it. And you're going to attach a financial incentive to get everybody to take it, because you don't understand the financial state that everybody's in. And the average person in America cannot even make a decision on whether or not they want to say yay or nay to it. Why? Because they need the 1,500, because their job situation is looking shaky, and they have not developed a way to make money outside of their traditional job. They got to go inside a building to make a job, or they have to make a job through this institution that decides that they're going to pay them for their money. So what I'm offering you is a way to make your money based on your brain, your ability to analyze, right? Your ability to understand the situation, and your ability to understand how to make money, whether the market is up or down. But you have to decide that these type of scenarios are unacceptable, and you're willing to do the work to do something about it. And you want to say, well, who am I to teach this situation? I'm a regular person just like you that have been caught into these same type of situations. I've been laid off of jobs. I've been fired from jobs. And I never understood, why was I brought into a scenario where other people could determine how much money I was supposed to make if they liked me that day, or if they felt like they wanted to keep me on. And what you're seeing with Disney is that all the executives are going to be protected. The Walt Disney World family is going to be protected. They're going to maintain their wealth. But the masses of people that make that park what they are, they're going to be the one to take the fall. And if you think that's normal, then you can continue to go along as everything is fine with you. But if you want to do something about that, you need to reach out to me about the highest paid part-time job in the world, because I could come online every day of the week and talk about these type of scenarios, and we would never run out, because this is how they've decided to treat the American worker. So if you got any questions, hit me up. If you know somebody can get value from this, share it out. This is David W. Williams, also known as Diamond Dave, the founder of the highest paid part-time job in the world, and I'll talk to you later.